Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. MAMAMAX is back. First of all, let me tell you guys, this is for your entertainment only. Hopefully, you're, sitting in traffic, you're at work, whatever. This is entertainment. I'm not a lawyer, not a legal expert. I'm just going to give you my opinion on very dumb, idiotic things that people do on the internet. Some of them gamers, some of them are idiots, some of them, just give us a lot of entertainment by the stupid things that they do. And today we're going to talk about MAMAMAX, who is back. Now, apparently, he's retained a lawyer over the things that some ordinary gamers, aka Mutahar, said about him. Now, the irony here is that this man was planning to sue other people because they hurt him with his words, right? Up in Canada. And Billy Mitchell has changed the game. Billy Mitchell, right, has shown people that you can make legal accusations about people, in certain places, in certain countries. I don't know what country you're in. That's why you need to consult a law professional before engaging in this type of behavior in the legal system. Because if you don't, you end up like Creamy Carl. And now you probably do not have a billionaire backing you, right? That later doesn't fulfill all his commitments. But this is going to be something, let me tell you, because MAMAMAX here has retained the services of a lawyer, apparently, from what's being shown on the internet now, being reported. And it's 10 racks, 10,000. Usually I told you, in my experience, right, this is just where I live. It could be different where you are at, right? There's, if you get a lawyer, it's at least 5,000, right, for the retainer, so they could just talk to you. And that's going to be evaporated within 2 weeks, probably, and then you're going to need more money. Apparently, this man obtained a lawyer and paid 10,000 for a retainer, which would make me guess, and again, I'm not a law professional, right? I'm just an idiot on the internet that you should not listen to for legal advice at all, right? But I can try to entertain you. By the way, guys, there'll only be one video today. I have to go to my daughter's graduation. She's getting her master's degree, right? Oh, man, let me tell you, my kids with degrees in this oppressive country that we live in the beautiful America that we live in, I don't know what, lazy people that don't want to work, right, that don't want to put the effort on, get on the internet and start suing other people sometimes. So there will only be one video today, guys, because I'm not going to have time. Regardless, I wanted to touch on this real quick. You got a retainer for 10 racks, 10,000 Krispies, $10,000. What that would tell me is that he's giving this retainer, and these guys are going to file something, because that's a lot of moolah. Because in most places, it's less than $2,000 just for the filing, right? So, that's why, people implemented slap laws in several states, because you could just go to different states and start suing everybody for $1,300 a pop, right? And ask them for $20,000 in settlements, and there you go. You have a brand new business, right? It could be like, if you lost a case in Australia and you owe $220,000, you can just come to the U.S. and and look for people you think might have $20,000, and you can pop each one of them for whatever they said. Regardless, guys, if this man paid this kind of amount of money to a lawyer, it means to me, and it would be a pretty good guess by any layperson to say this person sat down with lawyers. This person asked the opinion of lawyers, and the lawyer said, yeah, it looks like you have a case, and took their money. So there's going to be something there. And again, it's going to be quite ironic for Mutahar, that was the one that looking to sue somebody, and now he's going to be in multiple lawsuits, right, if he does decide to proceed. And again, you always have the looming the looming case of Gerard out there, because if Gerard comes back, what are you going to do? You're going to handle 3 cases? Oh, man, that is going to be a lot of content, let me tell you. I mean, we could not ask for more here, right? Because in discovery or in trial, we're going to find out so many things that, they never disclose on YouTube, right? But the things that this gentleman said about this other gentleman, right? MAMAMAX is a complete fraud. Yikes, right? And it goes from there. There's cultish accusations, there's legal accusations, and man, let me tell you, he said that he runs all this through lawyers. I mean, I really hope he did. Because one of the reasons that apparently he's getting sued is because he's got moolah. He's got that cheddar, right? The more successful you are and the bigger you are, the more problems you're going to have with this kind of stuff, right? Especially if you're making legal claims about people. And I don't know that that's a fact, but that is what MAMAMAX is alleging that Mutahar did here. Mutahar could have just been talking about what was happening to him, what people were saying, right? X person said this, X person said that. But when you're making the judgment, when you're the one saying this happened, and that's a different thing. That's a different thing, which is what this gentleman is claiming here.
Supposed friend Mutahar for $1 million, telling the victim that he's rich and so seeking $1 million would help with the case.
I've basically realized that this person wants to effectively sue me for a large chunk of money, okay? An obscene amount of money. Why? Because to me, all this appears is all I ever was to this man was an extremely rich friend who had enough social media clout.
Extremely rich friend. Maybe you don't want to say that. Maybe you don't want to say that online if people are looking to sue you. Because now, you self-admittedly have money bags for people to chase.
For him to piggyback his stupid case off of.
My stupid case. So yeah, I thought he was my friend too. Until I saw the things he was doing.
And then he proceeds to lay out some of his grievances. I'm not going to play it here. You guys can go look at it. He's got 649 subscribers. You can, readily find it out there. It's a 2-hour video. I guess this is going to be his response. Is this a great thing to do? Probably not. Hopefully he ran it through his lawyers. But if you're going to sue somebody, right, because you feel wrong or what have you, you put a short statement. And this is the way, the process works. If you look at the Billy Mitchell case, the way he did it, it's the way you're supposed to do it. If you want to make a video, right, you just lay your what your grievance is, and then you just tell the other person to expect you. I think I think it's very likely that this man is going to sue him. And I think that we're going to get a lot of entertainment, right? We're going to get a lot of the do's and don'ts. Because when you're live streaming for this amount of time, and you go on all these things, and people are talking about the live streams, and people are talking about what you told them on DMs, right? Because there's other YouTubers now saying that some NDAs were broken here, right? And they were privy to some information they shouldn't have. The allegations, let me tell you, they're pretty spicy, and I think, right? I think there is probably going to be a settlement here. Let me tell you, because there's so much money involved that it really is just a waste of resources, and it's what lawyers tend to do, right? But if somebody spent 10 racks already, and you're going to settle with them, it's going to cost you at least 10, right? It's going to cost you at least 10 an apology if he wants to settle. Is he going to fight it? Well, if he fights it, with channels this big, it would be my guess that we'd be looking at 200 here. Easy. And I don't know what the laws are in Canada, right? Again, not a legal professional, but they don't have the freedom of speech laws that we do here in America. I know that for sure, right? They're quite different. We're quite unique, right, as a country, right? I can call these two guys idiots, as much as I want. And there's no problem with that. I'm not making legal claims. It looks like both of them are going to retain counsel, so that's a good thing, right? And it's going to teach us quite a bit. It's taken this man a very long time to come back to make this response video, and now that we know that he has a retainer for $10,000, to me, my guess is he's serious and he's got something that he thinks he can hold Mutahar accountable for on court. And that's going to make this a very interesting case. All right, humans, I will catch you on the next one. Take care.